Hai, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Safawati binti Mazlan. My matric number is C19A0560. Today I'm going to present to you about entrepreneur's background. The entrepreneurs that we've interviewed before this is Mr. Khairul Anwar bin Abdul Rahman. He is 52 years old. He is a Malay man and a Malaysian citizen. The way he started his business is by sole proprietorship.
Okay, I will present about the background of the company. Okay, the first name of Encik Khairul's company was S Resources, which is this company does a design project, and this type of business that Encik Khairul ran for the first time was was a sole proprietorship before it became a partnership after that with his friend. This company was in advertising industry. Since Encik Khairul started his business in the day before the development of internet, he once used a medium such as Yellow Pages to help to promote his business become well known, and he also has many contacts to help him indirectly promote his business with others. And his targeted market for the company was people who was interested in designing project and advertising and something like that.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Asna binti Muhammad Zamri. My matric number is C19A0401. I will present about how Mr. Khairul managed his business and his educational background. The way he get the suppliers was by connecting with his friends. However, it does take a long time. It is much easier now that everything is at our fingertips. The Yellow Pages cannot be viewed in the background because they can only provide addresses and phone numbers. Since he started the business in the days before the development of internet technology, he used a medium of Yellow Pages to promote his business. He also have many contacts who indirectly have introduced his business more widely. Nowadays, it is much easier because we have websites and applications. The employee he hired depends on the project. Sometimes he do the projects on his own, hires others to do the projects. Mr. Khairul educational background anti-diploma. He attended primary school at SK Stowell in Penang, and he attended secondary school at SMK Bukit Mertajam, or known as High School Bukit Mertajam in Penang. He completed his diploma at Maktab Perguruan Persekutuan Pulau Pinang. He worked as a teacher before retiring and started a business. His work experience was only a teacher at SK Taman Warna in Selangor. He does not have any experience about business at that time. His entrepreneurial spirit is Tony Fernandez.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Susan Dayana binti Zumizan. Nama matrik is C19A0417. The entrepreneurship we chose to interview was Mr. Khairul. But he did entrepreneurship when he was working and not as a youth. In 1997, Mr. Khairul was already resigned as a successful entrepreneur. Before going into business, Mr. Khairul was a teacher. Because of his deep interest in business, Mr. Khairul decided to quit his job and start a business. Mr. Khairul also had an idol in his business. For him, this idol is the catalyst for his success in the business of Tony Fernandez. Mr. Cairo plans to be a successful entrepreneur at the age of 30 years old. And most proud of him, Mr. Cairo make the plan a reality. That's all for me and thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Shazani Binti Mohtar and my number matric is C19A0692. Today I will talk about entrepreneur that we found to our interview, and first I will tell about the background of Mr. Khairul. The name was Rokia binti Wahab. Her mother's career is a teacher, while his father's name is Abdul Rahman bin Omar. His father worked as lecturer at Industri Latihan Perindustrian. Mr. Khairul family does not have any members involved in the entrepreneurship except for himself. Mr. Khairul became an entrepreneur. He was a former educator. When an entrepreneur starts his business, his main motivation for starting a business is passion. The factor that led him to start the business was that he had a sufficient capital. His goal in starting a business to have a strategic goal to make his business run smoothly and successfully. In turn, he certainly has the trust of a partner for that business, and for him is certainly needed for a business, even though some of partner may be unreliable. That's all from me for today. In this presentation, we continue with my friends.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Samsia binti Mama Ali, matric holder C19A0725. Next, we will continue the presentation. The definition of a business lifestyle is a business that is set up and run with the purpose of maintaining a certain level of income and nothing more. But for Mr. Khairul, he started the business to supplement his income and more. The reason that he do that because he did not want to be at the same level every time the business was run. Next, for his growth orientation, he said that it has changed over time because in the beginning he was only doing business, but nowadays Mr. Khairul not only does a business but he's teaching a business to the public, especially his student. In an interview, Mr. Khairul when Mr. Khairul when interview about the type of resources he had when starting a business beside his own saving. He said that when he started his business, there was no source other than his own saving. In addition, Mr. Khairul also said that he used the network in the business to facilitate him to take order from customer, as he had been a car importer and that he need to network with overseas customer. Last, the creative thing that Mr. Khairul did to get the resources he need was that in 2007 he was a car importer and franchise holder. In the beginning, he did not have enough money and made a loan of 5 million to make capital. In the eyes of Mr. Khairul, capital not a finance but more, for example, to network, product, health, and the other thing. It also considered a capital in his business. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nozaira binti Barodin. Matric number C19A0421. The entrepreneurs we interviewed were Encik Khairul Anwar bin Abdul Rahman. He's 52 years old. The answers from the interview is the controls when starting this venture as he embarked on a business start-up should have a lot of experience, and sometimes we feel that the dream is actually a dream. So from that point on, we have to work hard to achieve it. Managing risk orientation when he started a business was the capital for buying goods. Trusting someone under us to work in need of capital as well. Capital is not necessary money, but if we have contacts from other business partners, it can facilitate business. His business planning is within 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year to stabilize the business. Other industries are business planning done. In the beginning of his business, he was not ready to do business because he had previously worked as a teacher, but he did not want to continue because his salary as a teacher was insufficient and he quit. It was only after he started his business. The first day he worked in it took a lot of energy to manage it by finding close contacts, looking for suppliers that could help us get to know other suppliers. For him, internet network capital is worth more than money. Furthermore, early stage control of the business is taken seriously as business is the main source of income after the entrepreneur quit. Knowledge is a key factor in running a business, but not necessary. Without knowledge, we cannot start a business. In addition, like this entrepreneur, he started a business without any knowledge and did not depend on anyone. At that time, only interest could drive him to open a business and seek business knowledge. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Syafiqah Syairah binti Muhammad Lazim. My number matric is C19A0800. I will continue my friends. I will continue the presentation. Okay. Furthermore, early stage control of the business is taken seriously as business is the main source of income after the entrepreneur quit. Knowledge is a key factor in running a business, but not necessarily without knowledge. We cannot open a business in addition, like this entrepreneur. He started a business without any knowledge and did not depend on anyone. At that time, only interest could drive him to open a business and seek business knowledge. The value of income changed dramatically after opening many types of business. This is because the entrepreneur started a business without capital, but now he is able to make a huge profit as an uh, entrepreneur. We should take the risk as the business grow. This is because change must be made in accordance, accordance with the current situation. For example, uh, under the Movement Control Order (CPP), not all business can operate as normal, and there are businesses that cannot operate because of the PKP. For example, a restaurant business that is unable to operate at the moment want to think of uh, in alternative to keep their business growing rather than living without doing anything. In addition, many people now stay who provide this online food delivery service are an excellent alternative to growing their business to thrive without risking help. Not only that, the control need to be taken into account is that we need to be aware all of aspect of managing the company enough that we know the basic of the company. Thank you. That's all for me. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Shahira binti Aziz. My matric number C19A0596. Okay. The time it take for the business to grow is the he know how set up his own business because his staff is not as a big as an account. He doesn't need to knowledgeable staff to make the declaration. He just need a good seller to create an account for his company. Okay, and he said just for the sake of money. He also said that in the industry, as an example of marketing, he only pay a company for marketing, his company to promote social media, and he does not require staff to do marketing and does not have to pay the staff that month. Okay, furthermore, he did not make assumption assumption about his business, and he said he intelligently said it was his dream to start the business, but that was just a wish. Okay, for example, our friend wants to open the restaurant. The first question we ask to the friend is he good at cooking? And the person who asked that question has no entrepreneurial characteristic. If we want to be entrepreneur, we do not need to be a good at cooking. To open as a restaurant, we just need to be a good manager, to be good at managing to business, to grow up our business. Question like that, he said we would be able to distinguish the Malay race and the alien race. Okay. The lesson he learned from the major mistake he made was that he knew friend, staff, and the partner, and it all began to take a toll on him. And from him, he had experience of how the person could not do what he want. At one point, he started a business without his consent, or someone offered him a contract, and he was devised by it. From that experience, he started the process of starting the business. He also said that in the past he had no experience, but based on his knowledge, he learned a lot. Okay, the way to cope with difficult time and failure is to say that the journey is the same as the journey of our own life, in which we learn to walk, to crawl and wake up. When we realized that had gone wrong, he said his end had to be refilled with something he could go through. Finally, the thing that needs to be correct is that we need to correct the mistake that we made. At once we know what are doing, we can build on those mistakes. Okay, the difference in business, however, is that we should not find partner and staff with only pity on them, and on the individual side, that experience and mental toughness should be strong as he or she goes through the process when he or she already know the experience. That's all for me. Thank you.
My name is Naima Sabila binti Mama. My number metric is 61980395. One of the most important personality characteristics of Mr. Cairo as a businessman to achieve with their particular and awards is that it is not easily encourage motivation himself. He does not give up when his business in a trouble, but he has helped a friend and family member to start a business. In addition, he hopes to open a number of business besides encourage business of furniture making. He has planned to a business international and high more than. Finally, one of the tips it gives beside on his business is experience to students who are most interested in starting a business is that before you start your business, you need to know your heart. Your heart is about what it's like to be in business, because being interested in business is more important than love, because when you love you can get boring, but when you interested in business you can get more than when you're starting a business. In conclusion, before you start a business, you need to set a business plan in order for the business to flourish throughout the world. This provides the importance of applying and practice the qualities and characteristics. Every entrepreneur should have both old and new. It is very important to achieve the success of any business undertaken by every entrepreneur in the country.